Hi, SP kids, and happy St. Patrick's Day. My family, there's a lot of Irish people in them, and when I think about my Irish heritage, I think about storytelling. My grandfather was a great storyteller, and my aunts and uncles, my father, and I hope I can carry on the tradition. So I wanted to share with you one of your favorite stories that I like to tell, and I'm going to tell the one of the first Blimpo Billy and Fat Rodge stories. All right, so when I was a kid, uh, my Aunt Maureen, she was a farmer, and she had these two ginormous pigs, huge pigs, and their names were Blimpo Billy and Fat Rodge. And they were great pigs. They were always having fun, getting into trouble, going escaping from their pen, sitting in the middle of the street in a little, mud slop puddle. Uh, Always eating some stuff, but never too much of Farmer Maureen's food because she would get mad at him. But anyway, one year was the end of the summer, and Maureen was known for all the delicious vegetables and fruits that she grew, but she was especially known for her watermelons. And she had grown some delicious, beautiful watermelons that year. She worked hard all day, and she harvested them, and she put them in her truck, and she went to bed. And next morning, she was gonna sell them at the market. But when she went inside, Limpo Billy and Fat Rodge were sniffing around, and they could tell, ooh, Farmer Maureen must have done something with those watermelons, and they were sniffing around until they got to the back of her truck, and they walked into her truck and said, Farmer Maureen wouldn't mind if we just ate one watermelon. So they started munching away, and they savored every bite. It was so delicious. They were even swallowing the seeds. They were so good, and they fell asleep in the truck. Well, the next morning, Farmer Maureen, she woke up. Woke up a little late. She ran out the door with her suspenders barely on. She drove down to the local coffee shop, and she rushed in to get a cup of coffee. She was barely awake, and she was so sleepy she forgot her keys inside her truck. Just at that time, Sneaky Pete was walking by, and he saw the truck with the keys in the car. He looked around. He said, well, person was sloppy enough to leave the keys in the car, I might as well take it off her hands. So he got into the truck and he started driving it away. And Farmer Maureen, she came out and she was spilling her coffee, but she was yelling and screaming at the truck, you stop, thief, stop, thief. But she couldn't catch up with the truck. Way it went down all these back roads. Finally got into a place down by the river. There was a little shack where Sneaky Pete lived, and he got in there, and he was so excited he was going to open up the back of the truck to see what was in there. So he went to the back of the truck, and he opened the door, and he saw all the big, huge watermelons, and his eyes lit up, and he was so excited, like, oh, I'm going to have watermelon for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the next 10 days. Then he saw the pigs, and the pigs saw him. And he looked at the pigs, and the pigs looked at him, and he said, oh, get out of my way, and he grabbed one of the watermelons. And the pig said, wait a second, you're not Farmer Maureen. These are Farmer Maureen's watermelons. You can't take them. And Sneaky Pete said, well, why don't you try to stop me? And he started taking the watermelons. So Blimpo Billy looked at Fat Rodge, and Fat Rodge looked at Blimpo Billy, and they both knew what they had to do. So they started munching on the watermelons, and instead of swallowing the seeds, they kept them in their mouth. And all of a sudden, they started spitting them hard at Sneaky Pete. And Sneaky Pete was like, ow, oh, no, oh. And they shot those watermelon seeds right at Sneaky Pete, and they felt like bullets. They were so hard. Bang, 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 boom, 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 bang, bang, oh. And then right at that time, Farmer Maureen and a police officer came up, and they said, what's going on here? And Stinky Pete said, please, please, say, make these pigs stop, they're hurting me, oh no. And the police officer said, well, Sneaky Pete, you better come over here. And Farmer Maureen said to Blimpo, Billy, and Fat Rodge, stop spitting the watermelon seeds and let's figure out what's going on here. So Blimpo, Billy, and Fat Rodge stopped spitting the watermelon seeds at Sneaky Pete. So the police officer said, well, we're going to take Sneaky Pete to jail. And Sneaky Pete was very sad and dejected and said, oh, whoa, please, I don't want to go to jail. And Farmer Maureen said, but you took the watermelons, and these were my watermelons. I worked so hard to grow them. Come on, what were you thinking? And Sneaky Pete said, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. I really shouldn't have taken them. It was a bad thing to do. So Farmer Maureen, who was a good woman, said to him, okay, I've got a deal. If you work hard with me all next year and you plant the watermelon seeds and you tend to the garden and you water them and you take out the weeds and you look after them, and at the end of the growing season you harvest them, I not only will not press any charges so you won't have to go to jail, but also I'll give you some of the watermelons. So Sneaky Pete said, oh, that is so fair. Thank you so much. I'll certainly do that. I will mend my ways, and I will never take something that doesn't belong to me again. All right. So everybody went back to their respective homes. But it's not the end of the story, because that year at the county fair, Farmer Maureen and the fair officials came up with a new contest for all the kids. And the contest was a watermelon seed spitting contest. And the prize was a huge trophy with the likenesses of Blimpo Billy and Fat Rodge doing a little jig on top. And so every year from that year on, the kids would come from miles around to the watermelon spitting seed contest and see who could win the top prize. As for Blimpo Billy and Fat Rodge, well, they continued to get into a trouble of their own kind, but they lived to be happy old pigs. I hope you enjoyed that story. And kids, can't wait to see you in person. Love you so much. Talk to you soon.